This is the first of 2 sessions. We're trying out Worlds in Peril. I have some experience with Powered by the Apocalypse. I played this, and I actually played this with Chris. I think one of the 2 sessions I played when it first came out. And I've done a lot of superhero gaming, so I love superheroes. They're probably my favorite of the genres. So we're going to do Worlds in Peril. I've got a little bit of background set up. We're going to do some relationship building. I want to say that we do use the X card when we run. What that means is if we hit on a description or a subject matter or something is being said in a particular way that you're not comfortable with, you can X card it. We will move on past that. We've used that in the past. It's just a safety valve. I've had some players in my home group, have phobias that I discovered later on after I had hit them with unpleasant stuff in the game. So that has happened before. So feel free to use that. Chris, are you there? Or are you there? Okay. For a second, I thought you were frozen. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, no, I'm here. A question about that. How do you want us to use an X card? How does that? I haven't used one online.
So you can either whisper me a message, or if you have a physical card, you can hold that up, or you can just do this. Those are the ways. Any of those ways will work, and I'll try and catch that. Hopefully, I won't be looking at all my papers here when that is going on. Also, I am from Indiana, so I have a horrible accent. And so you may hear me go and just drop off when I'm talking here. And I'm also known for talking fast. If I start to do that, please feel free to stop me. Or if I go robot from the audio, feel free to tell me, and I will reset and we'll get that going. So we have a team. All of you have worked together before. You're relatively standard supers. You are located in Hub City. Hub City, about 12, 13 months ago, was devastated. Essentially, there was a supervillain, Lord Sunder, who had made his way across to sort of mid-America, coming out of Boston. And it was here in Hub City that the final battle took place, that his forces, or techno-magical forces, fought against unified teams of super beings. Hub City had always been a city with a strong superheroic tradition, and they managed to defeat Sunder, but at great cost. A lot of superheroes died, and a lot of areas of Hub City were devastated, destroyed. And that's meant that there are fewer supers in Hub City and some negative feeling from the public. People saying, well, the supers brought this here. They're the ones who caused this fight. They're the ones who created these problems. So there's some tensions that way. So that's sort of the backstory of the world right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and have each of you sort of introduce your characters, and then we'll hit some of these sort of mask questions about your sort of origin story first group. And Fraser, I'm going to hit you with this because you came up with a cool concept that you wrote up that I liked. So tell us about Kaiju.
So Kaiju is kind of like, if you've seen the anime Naruto. So his, the origin story of him is the beast inside me, which means my starting move is I am not a monster. Whenever you struggle to prevent the beast from taking over, roll, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I have an arch nemesis, which is the Reflection, is what I chose, which is basically somebody who's like decided to not fight that beast within them anymore and just let it like consume them, kind of thing.
Okay.
While I'm still struggling with it. And as far as powers go, it's like Iron Fist. I consume chi to move really fast and target people's body parts to take them out, kind of thing. A difficult power is to punch through steel. Borderline is to manipulate my chi to extend it past my person. So like in the movies when like someone slices the steel and it cuts them like a perfect knife, but it's their hand. I'm thinking that kind of thing.
Awesome.
And I put a picture of what I look like in costume, but otherwise I think I'm like, I'd like to be Middle Eastern, and I think my name would be Kareen.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. And as for Bond stuff, I easily fit in, I think, because I look human unless the beast is trying to like get out.
Okay. Your costume?
I look like I have a picture of it there, but it's like a sort of a little bit futuristic-y looking ninja type thing.
Okay. Oh, you dropped it right in the thing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it in the character sheet on the Dropbox too, for a bigger version if you need that. And then my advantages is that I'm a kung fu master and I use like chi weapons kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Awesome.
I haven't picked working towards yet. I didn't know if you wanted us to or not.
No, I think the origin books are just kind of to give a little more color rather than something we're necessarily going to get to hit on in 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Chris, let's get your take on your character. Are you going with the Quell name?
Sure. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think Quell was a good name for it since she's quelling the fire, basically.
Okay.
Her background is, from her profile, after losing her powers in a house fire, she resolves to protect her older brother. And after losing her powers in a house fire? That's probably parents, isn't it?
I'm expecting parents.
Yeah, and if I remember.
Probably.
Yeah, not powers. I think she lost her parents in a house fire. She resolves to protect her older brother and everyone else she can by fighting fires. When she's not on duty as a hero, she's moonlighting as a super one. So her power started off after the fire, and that's when she started gaining the ability to absorb energy, which primarily, of course, in the regular world is fire. But we can extend it beyond that. So that's her big goal, is protecting people, as I understand it, and the desire to be here. She dresses in firefighting turnout gear, and that's primarily to conceal her identity. You'd think it would be very awkward, but I imagine she's actually quite used to it, evidently, from running around in it, because that stuff's pretty heavy. So she's one tough little lady.
Okay. And Death in the Family is the first of the origin books there, so you can see the additional moves that you get from that. Haunted, Evil Never Sleeps, and Cracks in the Same Places. Okay. Is that cool?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Derek, can we move to you?
Sure.
Okay.
So Manat is... let's see here. Let's go to her background. I'm just going to mainly stick to what's been written in the sample. Character, after a tour of duty in the Israeli army, she eventually immigrates to the U.S. On the way, the entire vessel was hijacked and everyone exposed to some sort of mysterious radiation. Her whole family and many of the vessel became supers, including some of the terrorists, and this includes my arch nemesis, Lytost.
Okay.
Powers are generally siphoning electricity and just basically being able to manipulate magnetism and electricity. She also has an advantage of a pair of gloves designed to channel and amplify the electricity that she's absorbed, and a suit that keeps the charge from running off and adds protection.
Okay.
So she isn't constantly discharging.
Are you cool with that Death in the Family origin, or do you want to look at the origin books and pick another one that fits? What do you think?
So let's see. We only have one other Death in the Family, right?
I think so.
Zip also one.
Let me check. No, Zip is Accident.
Okay.
What, you don't want to bond over our deaths?
Dead Parent Society.
So the origin books, unfortunately, is the one part that I didn't get a chance to look over.
Oh, okay. So
I'll just stick with.
yeah. Okay. Well, and if you decide, actually I like this, you can feel free to say that you're going to use something else.
Okay.
No problem with that. Okay. Michael, tell us about
All right.
Zip.
Yes, I'm taking the Zip character, but I've made a few minor changes.
Okay.
So in the hero profile, it states that the character lost his company to his older brother, and then he traveled the world under research fellowships. I'm kind of re-envisioning that to imagine that he's one of these tech startup guys who just made $1 kajillion like before he graduated college, and rather than stick with the business, he just like sold his stake to his older brother and then went around the world on a meditational kind of escapade, and that's how he developed his powers. So I would like to change my origin from the accident to what I know, which to my understanding means people who, like Doctor Strange type people who basically study and learn some secret knowledge that gives them superpowers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
I've also changed the character's name. I was trying to think of something tech startup-y, so I went with the name Forward to emulate his speed powers, and also, of course, with the number 4 because, again, with the tech startup aesthetic.
It's very elite. All right.
Yeah, something very cool and neat and goofy all at the same time. So basically he's a speedster. And that's basically his thing. He hasn't learned how to break the time barrier yet. And apart from that, he also has goggles and a suit that help contain his body and protect it from his super speed. So that's his basic gist.
Awesome.
It's very quantum physics mystical. So yeah, there it is.
I like it. It's a good rounded team. So Hub City and you guys have worked together, and let's do a little bit of that sort of building. Fraser, again, we're going to circle around. I'm going to do that same order. Kind of terrible person. So when you and the team, when these other 3 first met, you defeated an enemy, and who or what was that enemy?
What if they like took out my reflection for like a time, and then they found me like after they were defeated it, kind of thing?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like I think that I got my powers after Lord Scourge was like sent back, so I'm like kind of a lingering darkness that's like I'm trying to hold back, and they had to like fight my dark reflection, and it was one of those things where it ended and like the bad guys out and stuff, but we couldn't find them, but then they found me, and they like assumed that I was like a captive of him, but who knows?
Okay, so they haven't made that connection that in fact you are perhaps the light side to that figure.
I don't know. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't.
Okay.
So I think like when the beast comes out, that's like me.
So beast, kind of running amok, much more visceral than your character appears, causing damage. All right. So I'm going to come to Quell. When you guys fought this beast reflection, you had to break some rules to win the fight. What rules did you break, and whose rules were they?
Let's say we endangered some innocents.
Okay.
In order to pull it off. That we didn't see another way, and so we exposed them to some danger of some sort. I'm not sure what it was.
Okay.
I mean, that would go very much against what Quell would want to do. So she probably would be the one that would have herself between whatever the danger was and the innocence. But
what kind of innocence?
Fraser would have to say where that happened. So this was around Hub City. This was during the battle with.
This would be afterwards in the aftermath of that.
Okay, in the aftermath. Let's say school children.
Okay, that's classic.
Yeah, let's say there was a school bus or something like that, or kids on a field trip. That would be perfect.
Field trip, museum, classic. There. All right. And the fight went in there harder than you wanted it to. And this is right in the aftermath where people are still pretty nervous about supers. Okay. Let me ask then, Manat, to win, you guys had to pay a high price or had to sacrifice something or, give something up. What was that you had to do to win?
Okay. What did we have to give up in order to win this fight? I think that there was another member of our team, and so there have always been 4 of us, and that person had to sacrifice their life in order to really break kaiju, down, or bring the person forward. And let's have them be a psychic. And
okay.
Instead of them dying, they're in a coma, and their psyche is just lost in the mindscape somewhere.
Okay.
And we're not sure if they're ever going to come back, or maybe they're possessing some small child or something. Who knows?
Okay. Do you have a name?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll throw it out there to anyone else.
Let's call that person Switch. Male or female?
Female.
Female. Okay. So the original 4th member in a coma, in a facility, psychic impressions lost to the void. On the flip side, when this went on, you did save the life of somebody important. Michael, who was it that you guys saved?
Let's say it was a current candidate for president who shall remain nameless.
Okay.
Because this is an election year in our Hub City world as well as the real world.
Candidate for president. So just as we would in a comic book, we only see the outlines of them and we can make the guess as to which one they are from that, but they don't actually get named. We don't show that they have the serpent crown or,
Yeah, of course, these days even an outline doesn't keep the identity secret, but,
right.
Comic book.
Okay. I'm going to come around with one more question and then we'll get rolling here. As well as sort of saving the life of a presidential candidate, Fraser, you managed to impress someone, an established hero. Who was that hero that the group impressed in that battle, or that the group impressed since you came afterwards?
Hub City. Maybe let's go with Cerberus, because then we kind of know about him already because we got the profile there. But he's like the Stony Stark type, so maybe he's also bang rolling us if we need it, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like that train of thought.
Yeah, essentially that he likes having some extra people out there, and he was impressed. Of course, he's super smart, so he considers that he would be your patron. Maybe that's not entirely the case. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and he was like, "Looks like we can't save Hub City, but we damn well better avenge it."
And then Hub City burned. That was very sad. Chris. In this fight, school children threatened, managed to save the life of the presidential candidate, impressed Cerberus. What got destroyed in the fight?
Let's say, I don't know. The first thing that came to mind was a school. So
Okay.
it was but we were saying they were on a field trip. So actually, let's make it a amusement park.
Okay.
Not that there'd be likely there'd be an amusement park after that catastrophe, but
Anytime he could ruin the lives of friends or of kids, he will.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you're a kid, you're not having a good time here. Move to New York.
It's just, it's one of the few sort of places that remained
Yeah.
intact and then got destroyed in the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, there was
That's
this
tragedy.
huge. It was an island of that had remained intact. Everything around it was completely destroyed, and they were thinking that they could build up around it, so it would have been really nice. And lo and behold, it got taken out.
Yeah.
It could have been a shelter, like a temporary shelter.
Yeah.
It could have been a temporary shelter. That's why the kids were there in the first place.
Oh, nice.
No, they were on a
Alright.
field trip because they were
Right.
good students, and they won the trip.
Okay.
Ah.
That makes it even more tragic. All right.
Take that, Brainiacs.
Yeah. Derek, so the group has stuck together after all of this. What's your impression about why you four have stuck together?
Well, I think I was a little bit closer to Switch than the rest of the team, and so I took it a little hard when we lost her, and I kind of still hold it against Kaiju. I think I don't really want him in the group, but I acknowledge that he can help us in some instances. Yeah, those are my basic impressions.
Okay. Is that cool with you, Fraser?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
at least I didn't kill children, right?
Okay. Directly.
Yeah.
As Manat would say, yes.
Hey, I did my best.
And finally, Michael, when you had this fight, all these things went down. There was somebody who didn't dig it. There was someone that this fight drew their ire, drew their attention, and maybe wants to get even or wants to cause problems for you. Who is that?
Let's go for the brother, because our superhero hijinks are freaking people out in general. Not just us, but heroes and supers in general, and destabilizing the economy, which is not what my brother likes.
Okay. And your brother's name then is?
Well, what's my name? Is the first question.
That's a good question. Oh, secret identities.
Good old John Smith.
Yes.
I'll be Taylor, and my brother will be.
Swift.
Actually, let's go heroic, and I'll be Remus, and the brother will be Romulus.
Oh, perfect.
We had very eccentric parents.
With a name like that, do you imagine that you were groomed for success?
Yes, definitely groomed to be a mover and shaker in some capacity. Certainly, though this is not at all what my parents envisioned.
Okay.
Let's say my name is Remus Jones. We're the Joneses.
Okay. Romulus Jones. Both good names.
So are you both fast? And so everybody says, yep, keeping up with the Joneses?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I envision my brother being just a regular, mundane tech billionaire, just your everyday non-superhero tech billionaire.
Right. Until he decides to build
So he's
that
a step down
armor.
from there, but
Yeah.
exactly.
So we're going to take up with the four of you, Hub City. I'll leave it in your imagination as we go along. We can kind of set up more details about communications and things like that. But you do patrol, or at least you keep your ears open. Who do you think sort of is the leader on taking point for watching for incidents?
Well, Quell is already looking out for incidents, right?
That's true. Does that seem reasonable to you, Quell?
Sure. And
Because
since
you're a
she's been on
firefighter, right?
She's actually not, I don't think. We could say that.
I think in the pre-gen,
Sure.
you're a firefighter who moonlights as a superhero usually, but I mean, obviously you could tweak it to whatever you want. But
Yeah, that works. Assuming nobody makes a connection from a superhero that wears a firefighter uniform and a firefighter.
It's subtle. It's like glasses. So there we go.
It's so
Anyway,
obvious nobody would suspect it, right?
Exactly.
So what you have picked up and you have called the group together is that there is some kind of attack and going on, and it's not all that far from, say, a locale that you guys have met up at. The thing that is drawing your attention is they're talking about fire and flames, and the police seem to be scattering that there's some kind of paranormal assault going on in this location. So what do you do, Quell?
So I tell everybody, it's happening up on the north side. We have a chance. We have a chance to show we can do it. We can be more than the B team. We can do this, people. Zip, you could go scout it out before the rest of us get there, because the rest of us are slow, right?
Zip's already there.
Yeah, Zip's already taking a look, right?
Yeah, I'll scope the area, figure out exactly how far the damage and the fires are contained.
Okay, so Zip, you will take off.
Oh, and forward.
Forward. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'll get a second getting used to that.
Okay. So forward. There's that blur of you moving down several blocks. You can see the sort of orange glow against the sky of some kind of fire. It looks like a reconstruction site, like it's a building that's being rebuilt here by one of the companies, and the police are kind of outside, and it looks like you can see there are groups of people inside, and they seem to be wrecking the interior. But the thing that will strike you is that they have the glow of fire around their hands. And so that's the thing that you will see there as you run up. The police have kind of fallen back because clearly some of these guys have thrown fire out at them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there any fires outside of the perimeter of the reconstruction? Is there anything on fire outside of the building that these fire hands are trashing?
Yeah, let's say that one of these police cars has gotten hit and is in flames right now.
Okay. As I relay the information to my teammates via handy headset, I would like to focus on creating a vortex to deprive the air to squash the flame.
Okay.
First, maybe I should check to see there aren't any police officers in that car, are there?
Let's say yes. There's a cop in there that's trapped. Okay. It looks like when the fire hit the door, that it's kind of melted that, and he's desperately trying to get out.
Mm-hmm. The priority then, I'm afraid if I try to create a vortex, I might collapse the air in his lungs. So I will focus on getting the cop out of the car.
Okay. So let's have you roll. And you're going to be rolling protect to do this.
Sure.
Okay.
So is that serve and protect specifically, or?
Yeah, that the serve and protect, and we roll protect on that. So.
Right on. Oh, I got a 9.
Awesome. So you get hold there, and there's a set of choices. Essentially. I assume what you're trying to do is reduce the attack on them to kind of get them out.
That sounds good.
Okay. Tell me what that looks like.
Okay. Basically, let's say I do, in fact, create a vortex, but I manage to control it enough where it just focuses on the fire and doesn't affect the officer.
Okay.
And then the fire is out in the car.
Okay. And he's stunned and shaking. We'll cut back to then the other three of you on your way to tell me, Manat, what do you do?
So I'm observing this situation, and I mean, I really want to know where these guys came from. What are they doing here? What are they trying to do? What's their end goal?
Okay, so you're kind of moving along, checking out the situation, moving from point to point. Let's have you roll investigate.
Okay. It's a -1. So I got a 5.
Okay. So you will move up and find yourself further in than you wanted to, as a section of this building kind of collapses behind you, and you're kind of in there. You see that they almost look like gang members. Various, they're definitely young, and they've definitely got these firefighters. There may be a couple dozen of them. The fires don't feel particularly strong, but suddenly you're kind of trapped in here, and that kind of brings you to a halt. Kaiju, what are you doing?
I think you're muted.
Yeah, thanks. So I see this thing like crumble and fall, right?
Yeah.
And this is the guy that hates me too, so I want to get on his good side. So as the stuff is like crumbling, I picture myself like going all ninja on them and like leaping off like the pieces of bricks that are falling and stuff to try to like somersault over it and get to him and like help him do whatever he's doing on the other side.
Okay. Let's have you, I think that's protect as well.
For me is 1. And my dice stream. Oh, not good.
All right.
We're not good at protecting. 4.
So you will get in there, you're and flip over even as when you land, the floor, since this is not a fully reconstructed building, gives for both of you, and you are dropped down into the basement. And right now, essentially, it's minor condition. Your guys are both trapped. All right. Essentially, rubble has come down on the two of you. And I'm going to cut to Quell on that note.
So we're all basically inside the building now. Is that what we're?
So you are out. You've just come up. You saw that Manat went to kind of survey, got too close, got trapped as something came down, and Kaiju went up to help, and you see them both vanish as the floor collapses where they're at.
No.
Okay.
And Quill, goes running in without second thought, running towards the center of where the fire is, because it's not a fire per se, is it? Or is it things are on fire and there are people with fiery hands?
Exactly. Yeah. The pieces have caught. I am going to have you actually now. This looks like a defy danger because we've already described the building kind of starting to collapse. You're rushing in to get to where they are. If you want to get to where they are, let's have you defy danger.
Okay.
What does that seem like? I think it's still. Well, you're talking about kind of going in quick. Let's have you do maneuver.
Okay. 12.
Oh, I didn't even see the dice. There we go. So you will get through the three of you kind of down in the basement, and you can see that they are trapped right now. We'll come back to you in just a second, but you are in there. You're safe, and effectively nobody else is going to come to like hit at them while that's going on. Forward.
Okay, so I've seen that Quell's tended to my R2 compatriots.
Mm-hmm.
So I will trust that he'll get the job done. She will get the job done, and I will, assuming that all the fires outside of the building are taken care of, I will move in and take care of our flame handers. Yeah, we need to designate an official codename maker for our group. For now, flame handers. Since this is a learning game, I just realized that I didn't have the create a vortex trick on my power profile. So I think I should have did a push move to see if I could add that to my repertoire. Is that right?
It depends. Like if your other ones imply that you're able to do that, then you don't need to. But if it is implying that it's like something that you're not sure about, then yeah, you would. Like for instance, I have punch through steel. So if I am like I'm gonna punch through brick, then I probably don't need to roll, right? But
see, for me, I was thinking because we've got that bullet time speed. For me, that's sort of an implication of that kind of power, especially when it's used sort of casually like that. That seemed cool to me.
Yeah, very like the Flash kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
I got
Well,
tornadoes.
yeah. Well, in fact, I'm thinking about.
Okay.
I'm tempted to make that move again, but the risk is: do I bring the house down all above around us? Is there an easy way of making that kind of discernment, or do I just have to go with my gut and roll the dice to see what happens?
That'd be going with your gut to see what comes of this. I mean, you could stop and try and really check out the situation.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll see if I can just grab as many as possible, just bring them out. I assume the street's been cleared and the traffic blocks
the
are
cops
set
are
up.
falling back. Yeah, they are falling back from these gang members setting the building on fire.
Well, I'm going to see if I can push them out of the building so that they have nothing to burn except the intersection of an empty street, city intersection. So would that be a seize control sort of thing?
Yeah, I would say that essentially you're trying to push one or two of these groups of mooks out. And so, yeah, we'll have you roll with maneuver to do that.
Okay. And I'm just looking to see if I have any powers that might be especially useful. I can run through them. That doesn't help. I can turn invisible. Okay, I'll just go ahead and go for the straight roll. Now with extra dice stream, I add a 2 to that roll, 2d6. And I continue the proud B team tradition of effing it up.
All right. So you will move through, and you're a blur in there to these minions. Okay, you can see they've got the back of their jackets. On some of them say Hellions. And as you come through, though, one of these figures is certainly not just a mook, and he moves swiftly. He kind of turns. You can see, rather than having flames around his hands, it's around his head like a corona, and his arm comes out, and he actually clotheslines you.
Oh.
And drops you. So we'll do essentially a stunned as a minor condition on you right now, as he kind of knocks you down. You did not expect him. We'll cut back. Let's see what Quell is doing to aid and clear the situation, and then we'll get to the two people who are trapped.
So I'm down in the hole with them, correct?
You drop down, and they have been buried by rubble.
Oh, crap. Anything I can do to, let's see, is there anything I can use to dig them out, help them get out?
Like what? Tell me.
Let's see. So I guess I'm trying to use the environment. I'm looking for like something like a crowbar. So if the floor collapses, maybe there's what's it called, a rebar or something like that I can use as a lever to start pulling stuff off people.
Okay, I already described that it's sort of half built. So yeah, we'll say that's reasonable. So it looks to me like you want to get them free to clear that, right?
Definitely.
Okay, I think we're gonna do that as serve and protect. Okay, and if you can get enough hold, you can get both of them out.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So what were you saying I was going to be using to do that?
Protect.
Protect. So that's a 7.
Okay. So it looks like you can get one of them out. Who do you want to get out?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll get Manat.
Okay. So Manat, that trapped minor condition is cleared from you, as you will see Quell manages to use his rebar and throw off some of this material that fell on you. What do you want to do?
So we're bursting out of this area, and like you said, it was kind of half built. I'm gonna use the rebar that's kind of embedded in these debris, and as a difficult power, I can attract anything metal. So I'm going to try and attract that and free Kaiju, so that we can get kind of our full forces back.
Perfect. That's a legitimate fictional use of your power. It fits. We've already described the metal, and Quell has established that. So I will say that you can kind of just rip that off of Kaiju. That seems like a good casual use, right? Kaiju, you are freed by Manat. You can see that. What does that look like when it gets pulled away, Manat?
You know, the pieces, the small pieces start to lift up, and then gradually medium, and then finally there's probably one giant piece that's just trapping him down there, and that comes off of him, and then, you know, always needing a hand, and kind of before he can retort, fly off.
Kaiju.
I think he just looks real sad. I'm just kidding. He just kind of shakes his head and kind of like grins. I think he's like always going to take it as a challenge to, like, you know, win back favor kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then he'll like, let's see. So we fell down a hole, right?
Yeah. So imagine that you guys came in on the ground floor of this sort of half rebuilt building. Yeah. Parts of it were kind of coming down, and essentially you're in the basement.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess I'll just like grip Quell and make our way up to the top, because I don't think we have any abilities to get us to the top, if I remember right. I don't. I have Kung Fu, but I don't think that helps me fly or anything. So
you don't have Lightfoot Kung Fu?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. So, yeah, you will get Quell and get up to the floor. You can see that there are groups of these gang members who seem to have very minor sort of fire powers. They're kind of creating chaos. It does look like the building, there was some work or construction or something going on in the building that they're tearing apart. And you can see that there's a bigger guy, and he has knocked forward down.
Okay. I want to go for that guy.
Okay. So you want to move up on him?
Yeah, I want to like leap at him, and then with like one fluid motion, take out my sword and like try to hit him with it.
Okay. So that seems like a straight old takedown maneuver with smash.
Smashing it up, hopefully. 6 + 2 is 8.
8. Okay. So you can see the takedown options. You know these. What do you want to pick there?
I'm going to select 2 and force a change of location, and I want him to like kind of like go through the wall.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing.
And his skin is pretty tough, but the force of your movement and strength will send him flying. However, he does kind of swing back at you as that goes on, and you will get burnt by that. So that's a minor burn that you will take.
Okay.
Let's come to forward, and we'll kind of keep moving around in this way. You will see you hit the ground, you're starting to blink, and then you'll see that guy who struck you go flying through the wall.
Nice. I'm still currently stunned, right?
Yeah, so you have the minor condition stunned. So that doesn't affect you unless you kind of push it. I mean, those kind of build up. You can stop and try and clear that off of yourself, or you can keep moving.
Right now, I would like to shake that off just to keep myself in the action. Hopefully by assuming that I have some kind of accelerated metabolism that can help me recover from minor impacts like that more quickly.
Sure, that seems
So
reasonable. I don't think we really have a move for clearing things that we have to roll. So if you just want to take your action to shake off that minor condition, that seems reasonable in classic comic book form as you power yourself up and shake it off. Another Taylor Swift reference.
Right. Would my hyper metabolism be hyper enough to allow me an action right now, or do I need to take a little bit more of a breather?
I would say that you could do that, but then I'd have you roll for that heal.
I'll give that.
Okay.
I'll try that.
So let's do serve and protect to try and reduce that condition on you.
All right. 2 dice, and I'm adding my protect bonus to that.
Yep.
And let's see how we do. Oh, I got to click. I didn't clear my last roll.
That's
all
okay.
right. Now let's try. Unfortunately, I'm not shaking it off yet.
Okay, so your total is a 6 or less?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you go to do that, but it's so hot in here that actually you kind of stop and you kind of exhaust yourself a little. So you're kind of stunned and exhausted. You just couldn't quite get your head together on it, and there's some smoke and stuff, and it's hotter in here than you quite realized.
I see. So are those 2 minor conditions?
Those would be 2 minor conditions.
Okay.
Let's cut back to Quell. Might be muted though.
Who's left inside the building?
It looks like Manat has flown up. Kaiju is still in the building. Forward is still in the building. You are, and it looks like a portion of those gang members, some of them are taking off. The big leader guy has gotten thrown out into the street.
Okay. So then Quell is going to hop out of the hole, climb her way out, perhaps using like an axe hook or something like that, something a firefighter would have to pull herself out, and then I was thinking like a crowbar with a hook on it, nasty hook on it, and then run after Flametop or whatever you want to call him, and she's going to try and absorb the fire in the area. So she wants to sort of center herself and pull as much of the fire into her as she can.
Okay, so essentially you're trying to neutralize the sort of fire powers that this guy has.
Yes.
Awesome. So that's going to be takedown. What do we want to roll for that one? What do you think it is?
I think it's going to be protect, because I'm thinking of it as sort of her trying to endure, taking it in. I'm thinking it's going to be a challenge for it. It's going to be a physical challenge as in, enduring it.
Perfect. Roll it.
Okay. That's a 5.
Okay. Is that a total 5? Now you could always burn a bond.
That's a total 5, but wait, the bond, does that just give me a +1, or is that give me the next level?
Goes to the next level.
Okay. Yeah, I'll actually no, I'll let that go. I won't burn the bond yet.
Okay. You will get out there, and you're sort of face to face with this guy, but you will see that clearly the word has been given to some of these gang members to cheese it, and so a couple of these groups have taken off. Essentially, you're not going to be able to stop them right now, because you're kind of having to deal with this. So some of the bad guys are escaping. And police are too off-center to be able to do anything about it. Let's come to Manat.
So I actually accidentally misread her power profile. She can leap large distances, not fly. So she comes smashing out of that hole. Yeah.
Okay.
And she's making very athletic leaps, kind of chasing after this leader as well.
Okay.
And she's brought along floating rebar from the basement. And as he's running away, she slams him down like, bars, gates in front of him to stop his progress. And then kind of hems him in, and, you may as well give up now. There's no escape.
Are you
All
building
right.
a cage around him?
More or less, well, trying to hem him in.
Okay.
That's
So you're
awesome.
trying to entrap him. That seems like it might be a maneuver there. Maneuvering with using your powers. Does that seem right, or something else feel better for you for that?
It's more. I'm not. I'm more trying to influence him to give up peacefully and break off his attack, and just there's no use running from us, because we'll just chase him and keep chasing him until we catch him.
Okay, so the rebar and stuff is kind of more cosmetic in this. Let's have you roll influence.
Oh wow, that's a 14.
14. So if you would look at the takedown maneuver, since that effectively is what this is, you get 3 hold to spend on that.
Let's see here. I think I'm going to put 2 of it into a moderate condition.
Okay.
That says, was it rethink his thieving ways?
Okay.
Something along those lines. And then to take away an advantage, you have to choose twice, right? You have to spend 2 hold on that.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll just take no harm.
Okay. So he kind of hits that that gate, and you'll see him turn around, and you realize that whereas sort of the gang members look like guys that maybe had been granted some power, this guy looks different. There's more of an infernal, demonic look to him, like there's some kind of you don't know if it's the physical body or something's possessing him, and he does stop. He's not attacking. He's clearly trying to gauge the situation, that he's realized that maybe he's outclassed here. He needs to get away. So he's that kind of trapped animal right now. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's come back to Kaiju.
So is there still people in with us in that one room where we all were?
There are probably still some gang members, and actually you will see there are looks like there's people that weren't gang members that are there. They're in some suits, like almost like protective suits, but they're splayed out on the ground.
Like hazmat, or
yeah, a little bit different than that. It's certainly not like any hazmat suits you've seen.
Okay. Well, for now, I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna do some kung fu action on the bad guys.
Okay.
And then try to investigate these hazmat people later.
Okay, so you were working on taking down some of the mooks.
Oh, much better. 9, 11.
11. So what do you want to do with that?
Maybe reduce the size of the mob by 2 and take no harm in the doing. So I'm just sort of doing the whole kung fu in the center of them, working my way between them kind of thing, and taking them out.
All right, so you will leap over. These guys are not particularly skilled. Some of them have gotten away. These are the sort of last remaining ones, and we see you kind of spin kick and hit them, and they will drop to the ground. There's still some more of them, and they let loose with a little bit of fire. Maybe one of them swings a bat at you, but you are out of the way of that when they come towards you. Forward.
All right, I'm stunned. I'm exhausted.
Well, you're recovered now, aren't you, or something?
No, I
Oh, right, you failed.
I pushed. I got cocky and pushed. I just wore myself out trying to shake off the stun condition. Now there's a fight going on. I'm thoroughly embarrassed with myself. So I'm gonna assume that just having to rest and shake the little invisible birds that are flying around my head is gonna take much longer than I want to do. So I think I'm going to try to do the same thing I did last time, but this time burn a bond.
Okay.
In order to shake off both conditions at once and still be able to do something. How much of a push would that be exactly?
So we would do that serve and protect, and we'd roll that, and then if you need to, we'll burn a bond.
So I don't have to declare that until after the roll?
I don't have to declare it until after you roll, which is awesome.
Oh, that's good. Yes. So I'll start by trying to do the 2d6 plus 2. No, 2d6 plus 1. That's much more like it.
So that is much more like it.
Yes.
So we're reducing the effectiveness of both those minor conditions. Essentially, you'll concentrate again, and this time sort of draw the cooling air and shake off that influence. And then, what do you do?
My mistake was I tried to clear my body before I tried to clear my mind. That's what I did wrong last time. And now we've got some fire thugs inside who Kaiju is dealing with. We've got an encaged demon guy who who's the other person who's not
Manat.
Quell or Kaiju? Manat, thank you. Manat has caged him in. Right now, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and see if I can try to just create some quick bursts of air to extinguish the fire hands. Let's see if it's something that can be extinguished or whether they can just reignite it again. I'm curious to find out.
On the gang members?
On the thugs. On the
thugs.
gang members.
Okay, that seems like an awesome. That'll be a takedown. Does that seem like a maneuver thing for you?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Okay, it's more clever, quick maneuvering to do that. Let's have you roll.
All right, here it comes. And I generated a 9.
A 9. So I will say that's an easy thing to take away the very fragile power that these thugs have. But you are going to have to run in on the flames and get burnt again.
I'll take that chance.
Okay.
Sure.
So you will essentially again feel that searing heat. So we'll say it's seared here, but the thugs are kind of they're trying to summon that flame up, but you seem to have extinguished it on them, sort of thrown off their concentration. Quell.
Okay, so you're saying he got them? He extinguished them?
Yeah, he
cool.
did the thing with the air and the thugs, and they're now they've just got bats. There are several down at Kaiju's feet.
Okay. So how many of them are still standing?
Oh, let's say 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she'll yell, "Good job, forward! I knew you had it in you. Now let's go get the bad guy, the big bad guy, the guy, the carrot top with the flames. I'm sure Manat can use some help because I think Keiju and I have these guys." And then unfortunately she can't. She doesn't have anything to absorb to generate power. Or is there anything in range that she can absorb?
So what are the limits of your absorption? What can you absorb?
Let's see. Well, it says as absorb all energy in immediate surroundings. So that could be, I guess, electricity or fire. If there's still fires going, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Get plenty of that.
Okay. Yeah. Then what she'd want to do is she'd want to take it. I don't know if you're going to say it's one action or two, but she'd want to put out the fires and maybe have it just sort of being an intimidating look that she has to try and intimidate the thugs, as in she starts glowing, I guess, when she absorbs energy. So they'll see that she's powering up and getting ready to beat them down.
Okay. So that'll be an influence roll. Sort of putting out the fires is a fictional effect.
Okay.
That'll reduce that. Let's have you roll takedown with influence.
Okay, that's a 12.
All right. So a couple more of these gang members are doing that thing where they realize that discretion is the better part of valor, and they're trying to get away, but they're like, falling over themselves. So, we'll say another 3 of these gang members go out. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay. I won't worry about the harm on that one. Let's come around to Manat.
Yeah. So this demon guy,
Yeah.
he's looking like
He's hesitant. He's trying to figure out what his best move is now.
okay.
Whether he can take you, whether he can get away.
Okay. So while he's doing that, I reach out to the nearby lamp posts, because I assume on this street there are some, and start absorbing the electricity from them. Arcs of electricity coming down to my arms, powering me up, and light bulbs blowing up left and right, and arcing to nearby cars and all that kind of stuff. And all the metal, the small pieces, start again floating up in the air, and I'm intimidating him, showing him, hey, there's nothing. He's not going to get past me.
All right. Let's have you roll influence.
Oof. That is 6. I'm going to burn a bond with the city because I am causing massive destruction and
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So on that takedown move, do you want to push that condition up, or what do you want to do for your options there?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep pushing on this. I'm really intimidating him, showing him there's no way, there's nothing else he can do.
So there is that bit where the electricity arcs around you, and he will, let loose with some of the flame at you, and you'll be singed, minor singeing. But when he's done with that, and it goes away, you are still standing with the electrical there, and you will see the figure there stop and kind of collapse.
Okay.
So like something's gotten turned off, switched off there. Essentially realize that it can't take you. Kaiju.
I want to keep taking out these guys, and I think I want to go into bullet time a little bit, like while they're attacking me. I can't do it as much as forward, obviously, but just the few extra seconds that I need to get in in front of these guys as they're moving, hopefully.
Okay.
I guess we'll see.
Let's have you do that takedown.
Ooh. Nope. But I think I'm going to burn a bond with law enforcement, and I think maybe the cops, since this has been happening for a while, are realizing that we're still fighting these guys while there's those people laying there still, right? So they're
yeah,
what are you doing? kind of thing.
Heroes never looking out for the little guys. That's what they're saying to themselves.
Yeah.
So that'll boost
and then
up
I want to reduce the size of the mob, and I want to take no harm again.
Okay. So there are only a couple of guys left, essentially, as you swing through a couple more of them. They are trying to gather themselves together, but again, that sort of slow motion as they come swinging in at you. They're disoriented by having the fire go off. They're trying to hit you, and you are dodging out of the way of it. Forward.
I'm going to try something a little funky. Going to my origin abilities, what I know.
Okay.
Specifically, the expert in the field thing. So, my character, I envision this character engaging in all kinds of metaphysical studies to unlock the powers of the mind. And, it's a lot of like pseudoscience, kind of like mysticism dressed up in the new science. So I'm kind of imagining, what if this demonic being of fire is somehow connected to my secret knowledge, that being the idea. I'm just playing with the idea of people tapping into the archetypes of the collective unconscious and manifesting superpowers that way.
Interesting.
And
well, let's see if that's the case. Let's have you roll investigate.
Right on. Let's see, let me get my dice stream back on. Fortunately, I'm a decent investigator too. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
I generated an 8.
Okay. So this is, while you're like, okay, you've had enough experience to realize that this is in fact some kind of demonic force, a figure, and that it's actually a mid-range supervillain, a guy named Fiend 13. And you know that he works with a larger organization, or has been associated with large organization, but that's what occurs to you right now.
So is my operating theory that this is a human who developed superpowers like me, as opposed to an actual demon?
It does seem like a demon, and that possesses vessels, but then essentially activates other people. So that whole collective unconsciousness, he does that to other people, which is what he did to those gang members.
I see.
It's why when you did the air thing, you threw off their concentration, and they saw it as their flames going out, even though probably it shouldn't have, but in their mind it did.
Okay.
Sound cool?
Indeed. Thank you.
Okay. So just a couple of gang members. The big bad has collapsed. The police are coming. You'll hear now they're probably getting some hoses on the area. Quell, what do you want to do?
Let's see. So Fiend 13 is down,
yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. He's down and out. So the only thing left is clean up of the fire. So Quell will walk around absorbing the fire.
Okay. So tell me what that looks like when you extinguish the fire in this building.
If Quell does it all at once, then it happens quite suddenly. It's a matter of, it just sort of, it's there, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and she just starts glowing very brightly, depending on how much energy it is that she's absorbing.
Okay. Does this feel like a lot? There are a bunch of scattered fires around this building, not like an inferno, but enough. Or is that pretty minor for her?
No, it's according to the way she's written up initially. She absorbs small amounts of energy, is her simple. So I would say that that's probably taking it to the next level at least.
Okay.
That this is, or you could say it's borderline. I guess it's absorbing all energy in immediate surroundings if she's going that far. But it's not all energy. She's focusing on the fire.
Right. So that kind of concentration is that glow, and you will extinguish those fires, and the actual fire people out there, they'll start to shut down their hoses. Manat. So we've got this guy. He's kind of fallen to the ground in front of you. There's still a few more gang members inside. It looks like there's some people. News reporters have arrived. There's some police there. It also looks like maybe some people associated with the building itself have arrived. What do you want to do?
So I'm going to wave over some the closest cops that I can to get him arrested, or handcuffed at least.
Okay.
And then it's just a couple thugs still around, right?
Yes. You'll see like a whirling dervish. Kaiju is working his way through them.
Okay. And it looks like the fire's being taken care of. So
The fire is out. Quell
Yeah.
has taken care of that.
right. So I mean, it doesn't seem like there's much more. So Manat is gonna kind of walk over to a nearby whatever's still standing structure and lean up against it and let the rest of the people clean up.
Okay. So the reporters are going to kind of push their way up to you. What's the impression you want to give? Even as this fighting is going on behind you, they've got the camera set so they can see it over your shoulder, kind of thing.
Right. Manat isn't really one to seek the limelight. So whenever a camera pushes up, she just really quickly absorbs the electricity out of the battery and it just dies.
Okay. And there's that thing where they come up and then,
Yeah.
they'll try to go and somebody, I got another pack in the van. Okay. So they're running back to get new equipment and stuff. Kaiju, it's you. There's a couple of last of these desperate gang members here. They're the ones who have stood up to your assaults. Knives and bats. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I wanna take them out, but maybe it'd be more interesting to like push and see if I can do something else too, and maybe it's like a thing that's kind of like the going into bullet time, except that it's like something that would allow me to take them out
Okay,
faster
how?
kind of thing. Like
You want to kind of go to hyperspeed is what you're trying to do?
yeah, like kind of hyperspeed, yeah.
Okay. So what do you think that is? Is that difficult?
Yeah, I think it'd be difficult.
Okay. Then let's have you roll for that. Essentially, as you try to enhance your reaction speed to move through them and strike.
Yeah, I'm like I go into bullet time and then try to like maintain it longer than I ever have before, kind of thing.
Okay.
And I don't at all.
All right. So that was difficult.
Yeah.
What do you want to call that condition that you take?
Can I ask a question?
Sure, absolutely.
So was that a straight 4, or do you have anything that bumps that up at all?
It's a straight. When it is a push, you just roll straight.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a push?
is just
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Straight up. I think that it would be maybe something like really exhausted, like kind of like when Naruto tries to use too much chi, and he's just like can't do it unless the demon inside gives him the chi, kind of thing, and it's like, nope, not unless you let me out, kind of deal.
And you will kind of move among them, and there is that feeling of the beast in you. And while you won't take all of them out, your hand does go out like faster than you meant it to, and there is a crack as it hits one of these gang members, and he kind of flies back out on camera, this gang member, and it is not pretty. He hits that wall, and you'll hear the crowd kind of gasp because it looks like you sort of Superman hit this normal.
Yeah.
And he'll crash down to the ground.
Okay.
So people are not cool with that.
Yeah. And then for the moderate condition, should I just say like exhausted or something?
Yeah, exhausted seems like a good way to do it. You're trying to hold that in.
Mm-hmm.
Forward.
Okay, I see that. He hasn't manifested any physical hulking out, has he? Just the
Nope.
super strength. Okay, I am intrigued by the notion that have I observed enough to tell that his power set and my power set are kind of the same? I mean, we both seem to be very super speedy and in channeling internal energy sort of thing.
Yeah, but whatever he's channeling, it's not like your chi. You have a controlled, sort of focused, strength. There, he is holding something in and diverting that energy to his path. Does that seem like an accurate description, Fraser?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I was gonna try to do a team up tornado maneuver, but right now I'm a little afraid of that. So I think I might just focus on disarming the rest of the thugs.
Okay,
and
I'm gonna
hope that things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's not even a roll. If you can just describe to me how these last thugs, they've just seen one of their buddies, they think his neck's broken, and this has gotten really crazy. Their boss is down. The fire is out. Tell me how you take these last 3 or 4 down.
Yeah, well, first I'll start by just removing in a big rush, removing all the bats and knives and whatnot from their hands. Got in a big pile under my arm. And then I said, look, we've got your Lord and Master all tied up, and you just saw what happened to your buddy. If you don't want the same, just lie down now and let's just call it a day. What do you say, guys?
And they will drop. They don't want their necks broken. They're putting their hands on the back of their heads. And we'll cut to the police. Okay. Let me send Derek a note here. Sick animals, no fun. All right. So we kind of switch out of that sort of combat sequence. Quell has absorbed the energy, and we've got Kaiju kind of holding himself together. These gang members being wrapped up by the police here. You can see now, as this kind of gets done, that the police are there, and you can see that it looks like there are, maybe they look like technicians or something like that, or corporate people. They're coming over and they're talking with the police. They'd like to get in sight, that kind of thing. So what are you doing, Quell?
So at this point, Quell's wired, right? She's absorbed all this energy, so she's like high-fiving everybody, running around. And running around the site, seeing if there's anybody left, going into the building a little deeper, maybe. And as she's doing this, she's trying to figure out why this building.
Okay.
Because we never found out why they were here. So what could it have been that was drawing them in?
That seems like an investigate.
It does. Okay.
If anyone wants to take the lead on that, I'd be happy to aid.
Yeah, I might need it.
Okay. Well then, let's have, if you want to assist him forward, we can kind of pause. If you want to do an aid to him.
Sure. Just find. Oh, here's my cheat sheet. All right. I do have. I just basically set a bond of 1 with everyone.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and get that up there. And all right, I generated a 10.
All right. So you get to choose 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly a +1 forward.
Okay.
And I don't foresee. I mean, unless you pull a wacky
You're not going to
surprise.
be taking harm, so you can just give him the +2, right? You can pick that twice, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, let's totally do that.
That seems like how these other ones are written? So let's go with that. Okay.
Cool.
So what does that put you at, Quell?
That would put me at a 7.
Okay. So what is it that you want to know from that list, from that examine list? What's the thing that you want to know?
Examine. What here is useful or important?
It looks like these technicians that are here that are on the ground that got attacked by the gang members. They are out. It looks like maybe one or two of them are dead. And you will see that, when you're kind of moving quickly and checking, that one of them has this strange device that looks unusual. It's giving off a very odd energy signature to you. It looks like they were doing something with that in this building.
Technicians were. Okay. Is it something small that I could pocket or hide in the...
I will say with the examine, since you didn't get any negative consequences on that. Kaiju, those two are moving around, checking it out. What do you want to be doing?
I want to be, let's see. Maybe I was thinking of doing the soft on the inside move. So maybe after that crushing blow thing, that whatchamacallit, that superhero, the Tony Stark guy that bankrolls us or whatever, kind of shows up and is like, this is not good kind of thing. And then that's when I tell him about how it's really hard for me to keep the beast within. And I think that it's like whenever there's I think reflection is locked inside of me kind of thing. And for a second he got out, and that's what happened with that guy kind of thing.
And we cut to essentially the Cerberus. We're going to use his code name there. He's gotten you out. He's gotten the reporters away, and he's cleared you out. And he's been asking you what's going on, and you will tell him, and he will say, "So that thing they fought the first time, that was you?"
I don't think he knows. I think he's afraid that that's what it is, but he's not positive.
But you can control it. That's not a question. That's a statement. You know you can.
Right. It's just like a constant temptation to dip into that power that I have to control.
He will say, whatever you need, whatever resources we can get you, we will. Whatever we can to help you.
Okay. And then
Let's have you roll influence.
Yeah. I hope and another one. 7 plus what? 0. So 7.
Okay. So what do you want to do with that?
I want to remove the medium condition.
Perfect. Essentially, he talks you down.
Yeah.
So, Quell, you and Forward are in the building. It looks like Manat has headed off, and it looks like Kaiju is over with your patron, and the police are now in the building. And there you will see one of these guys in a suit will kind of come up, and he will say, "Want to thank you for your assistance. This is a dangerous area. I'm going to need you two to clear the area. Just want to thank you, but we need to secure the location."
Okay, you sure you don't need any help securing the location? She's bouncing on her feet because she's all charged with energy. I mean, we can really be a big help. We're here for you.
No, we have top people on this. Don't worry, we got it.
Do you have any idea what they were? They may come back. Do you know what they were coming for?
Oh, well, we'll deal with that as the time comes. We're gonna need you to clear the site.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah, Quell. Let's work on the other project that just came up, shall we?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it was fun.
Okay, and you will see that they are from Zinkman Tech International.
ZTI.
Yeah, ZTI, big tech company that has done a lot of investment and reconstruction work here. And they cooperate with the police, but you will see that they have people kind of going in and they're setting up like sheets and things and lights to kind of, they're clearly closing off the area so that they can check and see what's going on. They clearly have a lot of pull with the police because the police are being pretty liberal, allowing them to do that. And shall we cut to you three away from that fight? Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, sure.
Sort of together? Okay. Where are you guys at then? Where do we swing the camera back in at?
One thing I might wonder, I'd like to bring up is
Sure.
I have goggles that can see through various wavelengths in case you wanted. We were interested in keeping an eye on what ZTA is doing behind the tarps that they're setting up. Is that something that seems like a thing we want to do?
Sure. It seems sketchy. There's like HVAC people when the building's being, or not HVAC, but not a furnace, the other thing.
Not air conditioning, but
yeah. Those people.
EVA suits.
Things. Yeah, exactly. they're in there, and it's still under construction, so something sketchy is definitely.
Well, and it's a crime scene. I mean, there was a person killed in there, and they're sealing it off like they're the police.
Yeah.
So no, this is not right. She's probably really annoying you all right now. She's bouncing her charge with thing. I've got to do something about this energy charge.
What about
wired?
What about
how do you usually clear it? I'm sorry. How do you usually clear it?
Well, usually I'm in a battle and I just shoot something and that's
Okay.
it. But I can't really shoot anything now.
Okay.
Shoot
Sorry,
the
Fraser,
sky.
I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe we like after that we're like talking about it and we all want to like sort of prepare to break into this place at night and see what's really going on with these things or something. Oh, but Mike's gone.
We'll wait till Mike comes back. We are now down 2 people.
Yeah.
We're getting picked off one by one.
Yeah. The real villain.
Google
is
Google is the real villain.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is we could also, and she opens her turncoat and shows the device that she picked up. We could figure out what this thing is also. I think this is what they were after. Whatever. I don't know if you have a picture of the device.
No, picture like a little Kirby device, weird, made up with the sort of the strange shapes on it. You're like, okay, how does that actually work, kind of thing.
Well, if I'm with Cerberus, while Forward is in the bathroom, we'll ask him.
Okay.
He's the techie, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. He's the techie. He'll know what to do with it.
Yeah.
He'll say, wow, this is something. Kind of stops and he actually kind of will stop sort of listening, talking to you. And you see concentrate on that. He'll pull out some devices and scan it. And he'll say, I don't know what this is. But it looks like it's maybe a scanner but a hyperdimensional scanner, not scanning necessarily this world, but the adjoining wavelengths, the adjoining hyperspatial areas. It's pretty sophisticated design. I haven't seen anything like this. I have no idea what they're using it for.
Are you saying it might be alien tech, as in from one of the other dimensions?
No, and it doesn't have that reading. And in fact, he'll show you that when he opens it up, that some of the parts are ZTI parts on the inside. And he'll say, no, it's definitely terrestrial, but it's not a tech I'm familiar with. It's not in my wheelhouse.
Can you like scan the same frequency as them and then like locate the source?
Don't think it's quite like that. Imagine that it's almost like a metal detector.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
Yeah. It's a metal detector for something in hyperspace.
Oh. Could that be have used to track or to find I keep wanting to say zip, but it's forward.
I don't know. I don't think so.
He doesn't move that fast.
No. Well, we've never seen him move that fast. Who knows what he's capable of?
Yeah, that's true. It looks like he's back from the washroom.
Sorry about that.
Michael, that's okay. So they're talking with Cerberus, and he's looked at this device, and he's identified it as something made by ZTI that is kind of a scanner for hyperspatial areas.
Yep.
As in other dimensional breaches kind of things?
Yes.
So if we turn it on, what do we see?
He'll say, I don't know. It looks like this is just the detector. They must have some kind of program or tablet that they have that was getting the readings. I'd have to put something together at the shop.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, why don't we go to the crime scene and investigate?
Okay.
We'll see all about that air conditioning.
All about that HVAC.
Yeah.
Does that seem cool? You guys?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So Cerberus heads off to see what's about this, and we'll cut to a few hours later. There's still police tape around. The police have cleared the scene out, but you will see they've got that sort of plastic sheeting up and lights, and they're clearly technicians still kind of working in the scene. Just a few of them, though it does look like they've now got some security personnel on site. So how do you want to carry this out?
We want to be sneaky.
Do you have any sneaky moves?
I'm a ninja.
Ninja.
Yeah. I can move really fast.
Yeah, I don't think they.
Although that will show up on their cameras.
Unless you push yourself.
That's true. I can always push myself.
It works really well sometimes.
When it works.
Yeah.
Actually, I could vibrate myself to the point of near invisibility.
I thought you could vibrate through something without disrupting the physical.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would still be visible. I could turn completely invisible by vibrating at ultra high frequency. That's a borderline thing. So it's not easy.
Yeah. So here is how that will work. That's the fiction that we use for you guys to justify your examination. A failed roll is we can see what the move is on that pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
So how do you want to structure this? Do somebody want to aid other people? Do each want to do it separate and examine rolls? How do you want to do that?
The way we've been rolling, we should probably
work together
for one roll.
Yeah, that's
let's come up with a master plan.
Well, who is the best investigator among you?
Oh,
I have a plus
not
2.
me. I'm a -1 investigator. So I can get
I'm
in.
+1.
Okay.
Well, it's +1.
I'm +2, so
Okay.
let's
There you go.
see if I take the lead on this. So I think I envision some kind of plan in which I just run in there and just it's like the scene in which X-Men movie was it that had Quicksilver just like
The last two.
interrupting?
Yeah.
Days of Future Past or whatever.
So you just like
Past
move them or something?
at normal speed, but everyone else is at a standstill, and I'm basically just checking out. I'm just reading everyone's iPads and something like that.
Okay.
Now,
So tell me, Quell and Kaiju, how are you helping out? What's your maneuver to assist?
Maybe I'm doing a distraction, like maybe a car out front or something. I like hit it and the car alarm goes off or something, so they come and investigate it or something?
Sure. Okay.
May I
Yes.
ma-
Well,
oh,
No, I was gonna say, yeah, do it.
may I make a suggestion? Maybe Quell, you absorb energy. Could you absorb some energy and can you discharge it into, like, say, me, just give me an extra burst of speed or something like that? Is that feasible at all?
It depends what kind of energy you need. so now you're turning me into a dealer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, I think you're kind of like Captain Marvel, right? Like what you output is up to you, kind of thing. So you could output it at kinetic energy or something.
yeah. Difficult is change one type of energy to another. So that's
Right.
Yeah.
I got that, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of energy forward you should use.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe you could feed me neuroelectrical energy to stimulate my brain to be able to handle the
Speed
hyperness.
force.
Yep.
Yes, let's wave some hands in the name of science, something like that. That's just a thought anyway.
Well, you can run up walls, right? So you can run up the building.
I could do that. That's easy peasy.
Yeah, so I mean I think that's the easy part for you. What I could do to help is absorb more energy and maybe absorb the energy from the surveillance system.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Which I don't know if that's me pushing it, because that's sort of like a fine-tuned thing.
No, I think that seems like a good fictional use of your powers. So you and Kaiju will both roll 8 actions to see if we can give a bonus then on to forward. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you both roll.
I'm rolling smash.
Bond, because you're
Bond.
aiding.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7.
Okay. So +1.
Yeah. Oh, +1. Yep.
And I got a
Rather
9.
than- Okay. So I assume both of you are assisting and not covering your butts.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's +2 on top of your +2 forward. You could still roll a 2.
But then you can burn a bond. So
See what happens. Watch me roll like 2 1s. Oh, I was kind of close.
Roll fake dice.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it is.
it's supposed to be a +1. So 4. So I got an 8 total.
Okay. You happy with
Oh,
that,
that's-
or do you want to burn a bond, or
You know what? I want to burn a bond because I want that sweet 10+ result.
okay?
So I'm gonna burn a bond with yeah. I'm trying to figure out which of you two I want to. I think I'll burn it with actually I'll burn it with Quell.
Okay. That maybe you push too hard on trying to get her to juice you up.
Yeah, maybe
It
I
doesn't-
took a little more than I should.
It doesn't work that way. I'm telling you, it doesn't work that way.
There
That's
you go.
not how the force works.
Yeah.
You're pulling me into the dark side.
All right. So that gives you 3 questions. What are you going to ask?
What danger should I be on the lookout for?
So-
what is about to happen? Oh, sorry. One at a time.
Well, let's start with that one. So that one you can choose your follow-ups. You will, as you're moving around, you will hear them, some of the people talking, and they will say, this is another one, another attack. They're getting too close. Zolana is calling in the sentrymen. They'll be here within the next few hours, and they'll take out anyone who interferes with any of this. Good guy or whoever those 4 freaks were. And you know that the Sentrymen are kind of a corporate super hero team. I'm doing air quotes around hero. They're super mercs, essentially corporate enforcers. So
kind of a Blackwater thing.
yeah. So that is a danger that is coming. Second question.
What is about to happen?
They are about to clear this site out, and they are going to move what data they have from here. They clearly didn't get exactly what they wanted. They were scanning for something hyperdimensional here, and they're going to essentially clear this area out and scrub the scene. And your last question.
The last question I'm trying to find out exactly what it is they're scanning for, but I'm not sure if that's really covered in the remaining questions per se.
I think what happened here recently.
Okay, what happened here recently?
Okay. So you'll be able to check over their notes and the sites and things like that. So clearly those texts were here. You almost think that Zinkman must have known something about this area. There must be something significant, and that's why they set up reconstruction here. Because it almost seems like they were rebuilding the building as almost a shell. They weren't really doing full reconstruction. These techs seem to have believed that there might be some sort of hyperspatial access point or dimensional breach that they could access in this area, and they were scanning for that.
I see. All right. I'll zoom back out and relay that to my compatriots.
All right.
That ZTI is basically tracking hyperdimensional breaches. And whatever happened here, this particular location, it seems to be a dead end as far as they're concerned. And that's the reason this place was under construction in the first place, was to provide cover. They mentioned some name. Do we know a Zolana?
Zolana Zinkman is the CEO of ZTI.
Well, she's going to be calling in the Centermen to run interference for anyone who tries to get in their way, good or, well, all us good guys. Let's say I'll leave out the part about us being called freaks and not even considered part of the good guys yet.
You haven't got a team name. That's not catchy yet. So
That's true.
That's also the thing that takes 3 sessions. Yeah. So
we have to wait for the fan mail to come in and vote on our team name.
Right. So we can kind of cut to you guys away from that, doing the montage stuff, essentially gathering intel or checking things out, or how do you guys want to play that? What do you want to do?
Maybe we could try to figure out what other locations in the city have any kind of common factors with this site to see what could be potential future breach points.
Okay. What is your method for figuring that out? If you see on the special moves, gather intel is one of the ways to do that. If after examine, I just want to show you what's one thing to look at after we do the examine move. If you get stuck on that, you can go to that. But right now, we're still probably in the examine move. So you really want to figure out what the commonality is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the first thing is to look at the map and see if there are any conveniently pentagrams shaped road intersections in Hub City.
Okay. Let's have you make a simple investigate roll. We've got very specifically what you want to get. So I want to see, we'll roll and we see if you create any heat as a result of your investigations, and then we'll move on to see what Kaiju and Quell are doing and how they're carrying that out. Seem good?
Sure.
Okay.
I generated a 10.
Generated 10. So you will look back. They mentioned other attacks, and you'll see that there were some other spots, some other ZTI locations. It looks like this site and maybe a couple of the other sites are associated with a former super team for the city called Team Future. they were pretty big back in the day. They got destroyed by Lord Sunder, but they were important here in Hub City, and one of the locations was a rumored base, above ground sort of base for them. And this location, there's some rumors that the guy who owned this was in fact a superhero named Onyx, who was killed. And there's those kind of commonalities. They're clearly doing these scans at sites associated with Team Future. And if that's the case, there's one other site that hasn't been hit yet that just running through the list, is sort of public knowledge, or at least rumor and hearsay, is associated with the guy who did the armory and gadgeteering for Team Future. And ZTI has a setup there on site. Kaiji, what do you want to do?
Sounds like it's time to get stakeout. Yeah, let's say if we've got that intel already and we're probably going to head there, if there's time, maybe there's like a scene for him trying to do like a meditation kind of thing where he's trying to figure out the inner beast action.
Okay. Let's look at that. That's a very cool one. Let me pull that origin book up again.
I don't think there's a move for it specifically. Like there's the revealing the information, or there's the struggle. Maybe it is a struggle. Like maybe the meditation is a struggle to prevent it from taking over.
I don't think though. The beast hit you, but I don't think it's like we've done a huge thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it as essentially? You've already cleared your conditions.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like a investigation role while I'm meditating about it, kind of like doing this vision quest thing or something.
Ooh. Okay, I like that. You've got some supernatural stuff going on there. Let's have you roll with investigate. Not your best skill, but
yeah, nope. 8.
So you aren't drawn down to the dark side in that meditation path. What is it that you want to know about the general situation? And you can reframe these examine questions because we're kind of moved to a larger sphere here.
Maybe, I think, what danger should I be on the lookout for works for this one.
So clearly Zinkman has some forces to back them up, but somebody else is out there. Somebody was running Fiend 13, and they've clearly hit other sites. And you can tell that there is an organized force, and essentially you're going to have a clash between two strong parties in this situation, and you're not sure what kind of damage that's going to cause. As well, and you know better than anybody that messing with hyperdimensional stuff, that tearing into other dimensions has huge risks. Who knows what's hidden there? Who knows what people have locked away?
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I think he'll like sort of come out of this like trance, and he's probably like all sweaty and stuff, and he's been in there for like 14 hours or something like that. And he'll tell everybody that information too. And it probably is like right at the same time that after Karen does her thing.
All right. Quell, what about you?
Well, Karen's going to be like running this off. Right?
Okay. Treadmill.
Treadmill, doing laps around the city. I don't know, swimming. There's a lake. She's swimming across the lake and back, whatever. Because she's got the energy to burn as she tries to think it through. And so when she gets down to a somber glow, she can come back, and if the daylight's out, nobody really notices as long as she stays in the sunshine. But what she wants to do is she wants to go in. That's assuming that she's got the fireman cover. She wants to go in and check and look for building permits in the, to see what in the last location she can get the floor plans for it and see what ZTI has been trying to build there or saying that they're building there.
Okay. So I will give you basically the information you've already gotten, that, yeah, you can definitely see it seems to be the same sort of thing at that location. Essentially that they built they're reconstructing it to be like an office complex, but they haven't done much there. So that seems pretty easy to get. What else do you want to know?
Well, the other thing is based on the scanner, I guess she might look to see. No, backing up. So
sure,
we probably should have had. Did we see any gang signs on the thugs that were attacking?
Yes, they were the Hub City Hellions. Because that sounds like a comic book gang and not a real gang.
Yeah, they'll have some cheesy little logos.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she'll want to find out what their favorite spots are.
Okay.
Their bar or whatnot. And she could go hang out there undercover when she stops glowing. Okay.
So, yeah, I'll say that you can pull the intel down on the Hellions. They right now are kind of scattered. You have the sense that they were working for their boss, that Fiend 13 had kind of come down and empowered them. And the sort of the word on the street for them is they know that there was somebody above Fiend 13 who was pulling his strings and giving him orders.
Sure.
Does that sound reasonable?
Sure. Fiend 12, Fiend 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you guys have kind of hit the streets and come back with this info, and now you guys are going to move to stake out.
Yeah, let's trap them, or lay some sort of trap, because they don't know that we know,
I'm going to actually ask. This actually seems like a good break point because we're down one person.
Yeah, probably not good to.
Yeah, we'll start with you guys in place, setting a trap there at the site as things go down, and we'll start with that right away next session. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll probably get into a conflict and then end, and then that guy will come back and yeah.
Do we want to try and fit in? Does anybody have any conditions they need to remove?
I never did anything about my seared condition, so.
Well, the best thing about fit in is get your bonds back, though.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
do
right.
you?
Yeah.
I know you got the conditions back, but.
It fit in is to get the bonds. You remove a number of conditions equal to your bond with that person, and then raise your bond by 1. On a 7 to 9, you do the same thing, but there's also some complications. So we can do that. Should we talk about what you do to fit in, Quell?
Oh, well, Quell doesn't need to.
Okay. But
Quell didn't burn any bonds and doesn't have any conditions. So.
Well, but do you want to
law enforcement or anybody?
Yeah, you could work with one of them, or try to establish a new one.
Yeah. If I have a bond threshold, if it's not exceeded yet, but yeah, sure. I guess we could try that. She's trying to. What would she be trying to do? Establish a bond with. What's his face? Bring to bond with me. Forward, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not happy with him.
Okay,
but that's his problem. Though.
That's his problem. But
so I think Quell will be trying to work something out with Cerberus.
Okay,
trying to improve her bond with him.
All right.
She doesn't have one with him, right? That's not
right.
That was not established. So that's what she'd be trying to work with, and to show him that she can get information also using human intel.
All right, let's have you roll a. Are you just going to roll a straight roll then?
Yeah, and we'll see what the consequences are. Not good. There you go.
Straight out of bonds.
There is that thing where you're still jumpy when you show up, and Cerberus is trying to work on this stuff.
Sure.
And there'll be that bit where you kind of move and he kind of talks sharply to you, and some of the energy goes out, and it'll crackle across the desk, and he'll just look and go, "You should probably find the others and go to where they are."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll help clean this up. And she tries to clean it up.
No, you won't.
Okay, leaving. I'm so sorry. So embarrassed.
Forward, is there anything you want to do on that kind of scene?
Yeah, I can. If I could squeeze in 2 fit-in scenes, I would like to try.
We'll do one.
Okay. Fair enough.
What's the one you want to do?
I will take care of my minor condition, my burn injuries. What
Okay.
I'd like to do is basically while I'm in the hospital, maybe try to conduct some morale boosting visits with people in the burn ward. Let's say people have it much worse than I do. Hopefully I'm at least enough of a name to be kind of like to at least brighten someone's day and not just be like, who's this jerk in the mask? But
Awesome.
That's what the dice will tell us.
Okay, so let's have you roll. What's your bond with the city right now?
It is currently 1.
Okay, so roll with a +1.
Oh boy. Who's that jerk in the mask?
People don't know you, and
By that, did I mention I'm not? Did I mention I have no health insurance either?
Yeah. And there is that thing where you get the sense that maybe the way that the cops have kind of arrived, that maybe ZTI is putting some pressure.
No.
Maybe they said, we think that those guys stole something from the site. We have some footage that shows, we can't tell who it was, but looks like we had a device on site that was picked up by one of those heroes. And so you will have to duck out as the heat kind of raises on you guys.
Oh dear, this is not one of my prouder moments, but
ZTI clearly knows something is up and now have you guys in their crosshairs.
All
Kaiju?
right.
I want to try to improve my bond that I burned with law enforcement by sort of dropping off this information packet that we've established for them anonymously. And
All right.
we'll see what happens. Nope. Yeah, we're not good at fitting it, that's for sure.
So there is that thing. You will hear that same deal that they are pushing, and the scene after you leave is the cop looking at the packet, getting out his cell phone, and saying, "Give me Mrs. Zinkman."
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's where we end the issue. All right.
Cool. We are bad at fitting in, guys.
Yeah, I think definitely the A maneuver is our friend, because that's
Yes.
when we were at our most effective.
We'll take up with this in 1 week. Thank you guys for playing. I hope
you.
it's okay. We'll do Roses and Thorns after the second session. I usually hold off on that. And I'll be curious how badly I'm mangling the rules when we talk about it at the very end.
No, everything's great.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Thank you very much. I love superheroes. Chris, it's great to have a chance to play with you again after so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been fun.
Yeah. All right. I will see you guys all later. I'm going to turn off the broadcast, and then I'm going to leave.